I've implemented that in my daily life, and I know that it works.
Welcome back to another episode of Thirstcast, everybody. Today, I'm joining my beautiful sister again. So, welcome. How was your day?
Thank you. Well, I've been to the gym in the morning. Then I had a bit of a browse in town. It was a nice day in the morning before the rain came, but yeah.
That's a typical weather in the UK, isn't it, though?
It is.
It's one of the things I'm not very big fan of. I cannot miss the weather in Greece every time. Year round, it's like 30 plus degrees, sunny most of the time.
Yeah, when it's cloudy and it's going to rain and that's it. You know what to expect. But in England, as you may know, England, you never know what to expect.
You cross the road and it rains. You cross them again. It's just...
It's a topical cloud.
It's topical clouds, yeah. I'm very much of a gym guy myself. I've been working out about 10 years now, maybe even more. I can't remember for sure. Could be lying to you. How many years have you been training for?
I've been training since 16, properly. So
it's a long time ago.
Nearly 15 years.
Okay. What's one piece of advice that you can give to your younger self if you were just about to start out working out?
I'll start a little bit with my background to begin with.
Sure.
So on my teenager-ish years, I've tried the bodybuilding. When I tried that, the main reason why was because I constantly had bloating, and I wanted more in depth to find out maybe my diet was something wrong with my diet or what I was doing. Mm-hmm. So because my friend was a bodybuilder, so we got on that route. And back on then they would say when you're eating regularly, you shouldn't really have the hunger or be bloated, high in protein. So I got into that and see if that works for me. Mm. By that experience, it was all right. But honestly, every 4 hours sitting, it was just a pain. It was fun. Yeah. I go to low fat percentage, for a female, it's quite hard to achieve because of our hormones and everything else. It was a very good experience, but I don't think that wasn't for me really. But I've tried it, I give it a go, and the results was absolutely stunning. The results were up there. And then after that, I was doing kickboxing at the same time. Mm-hmm. So kind of if you growing up with muscle wise, and boxing is high intensity, so you kind of you have to lose some weight some size, to be quicker. So I was in the middle of my coach, you have to lose weight. Bodybuilding,
you have to gain weight.
You go for it.
Okay, that's entirely two different sports.
Yeah.
And because I've tried some MMA and kickboxing before, which I absolutely love. You can't maintain both, if I'm honest, for the obvious reasons. Coming back to my question, so if you were to just about starting out working out, what would be one piece of advice that you give to your younger self?
Learn, adjust, expose.
That's very vague. Okay.
And take in all the information that you can find out there and see what works in your body.
Okay, that's interesting.
Why I am saying that? Because with the experience that I have now, if I knew it back on then, I would have done it a long time ago.
Okay.
Because I didn't know how to use the internet when I was 20, I know now that I am 30. And of course, my knowledge, it wasn't as good. 10 years ago, of course, we weren't that forward with equipment, with the internet, and how you can take advantage of it and the things that we see nowadays.
I absolutely agree with that, because you can find all that information on where do you need to start on everything online. But I understand it can be very overwhelming if you're just starting out, if you don't know what you're doing. And funny thing is, I met a guy a couple of weeks ago. He was around his 20s, not entirely sure. And he woke up to me and he said to me, I was working out, and he said to me, I like the way that you're working out. I can see that you've been working out here for a while now. Can you help me like do back exercises? And that I was really happy about that, because it sort of gave me that experience of teaching someone something that I know. I'm not saying I'm the best out there or have the best physique out there, but just that moment was very unique. If I had to just start out at the gym, it's very challenging because it's very competing environment. Everybody goes there for the sole purpose of look big and strong and shredded. I get that. But if you're just starting out, you need to understand the basics.
Absolutely.
And you need to allow your body to give your body more time to adjust in that environment, lifting weights. I was working out with a buddy of mine, and he haven't been lifting weights for a couple of years now. He started with me, and he said to me, dude, my goal is to lift as much as I can. I have this goal now, and I know how this is, especially the beginning.
Yeah.
It's a new feeling.
You want to be pumped.
You want to be
within
pumped.
24 hours.
You wanna look yourself after the session and say, yes, I've done something. But unfortunately, it takes time. It's one of those things you can't just take the pill and overnight you're that guy.
You need to be patient with yourself, and then just it will take some time to see the results.
Yeah, and this is what I said to him. I said, take some time to understand the techniques, the movements, the tempo of the exercise with low weights before you even start lifting heavy weights. Because chances are you're gonna injure yourself before you even get to where you want to be. And then once your body feels that the weights you've been lifting are okay and you can take a little bit more, then you add on. What I do, it might be a little bit different, because if you've been working out for a number of years, then obviously your body recovers a little bit quicker. I like to check on the weight every week. So every week, if I'm lifting on the barbell like 60 kilos, then every week, if my aim is to do more, then I'll try add another 2.5, another 5, whatever it takes. And I think that's where you begin.
Yeah, but it's good to know and set up your goals. When you know where do you want to go and the achievements that you want, and that's when you have a diary and you check your improvement every week.
For sure. That comes back to 2 years ago. I was really on my diet. I managed to get shredded. Not absolutely insane shredded, but I've been the most shredded I've ever been in my life. So
yeah,
to me,
he did have a six-pack.
Yeah, it was six-pack, but I always had that extra fat on the lower abs and my chest, because I have more developed chest, I guess, and I keep more fat around there. But coming back to the diet, this is what I've been, the point I wanted to make is very critical to be able to stick on your diet and have a diet if you have a goal. And I'm going to expose myself. I'm not in the best shape, as you can probably tell. I'm not where I was 2 years ago having the six-pack. I understand the journey, but when I was there at that point of having the six-pack, I didn't have a vision. I didn't have a new challenge. And then I started crawling down to my bad habits. then here I am today, and then I'm trying to change this again. If you don't have those goals and ambitions and the determination to keep them up there, you always have that curve in your diet and everything that you do.
It's kind of like you need to go in a kind of in a habit. I am slightly the opposite than you. I always set up goals and I always set up challenges for myself. And I'm not getting into bad habits because I've never had bad habits before. I was never into like fast food or junk food. I was always quite good, although I have a sweet tooth. I get that. So my points are over there.
For sure.
The thing that I tried, and it was during COVID, 3 years ago, the most challenging diet, I wanted to try the keto diet. So I gave it a go. And at that point, I was in the community that they were doing the same thing because I didn't know much about it. And you have to be very careful especially when you first start and get into a keto diet, because you only work with the good fats, you have no carbs, and all the carbs are coming from the good fats. I have to say, that was the best thing I've ever done in my life.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the diet that you eat only meat? What's it called?
Carnivore diet.
Carnivore diet, yeah.
Yeah.
That you eat, I think, is either twice a day, or any meals that you have throughout the day is purely meat, nothing else.
Well, it's not only just meat. They have some cheese and some fruits as well. But yeah, it's based on meat and like cheese and things like that. I believe though that's a good diet, yeah. But in long term, I don't think you can maintain that. We have to think that for a man's perspective, some things were different. For a women's perspective, because we have all the hormones that they get.
It's different as well.
It is different.
Yeah.
Again, I would prefer the keto diet. My opinion, that's what my body felt better.
Yeah.
I always feel better when I don't have carbs, like bread, rice, potatoes. It is a good when you have a balance on your diet. Absolutely. Everything, moderate. However, when we get to bad habits, like those cravings, and then
Binge
like
eating, yeah.
Exactly,
Okay, I get that.
and then you get on the loop that
That is the thing.
I
can speak from experience. Sometimes you get that urge to crawl back to your bad habits and binge eating all the time, especially if you're working from home. If your work environment is home, then you don't really move around. I've been working from home for the last year, and you don't move around. I've now started to do something different. Either if you can change your work environment, if you're one of those people who can work remotely, I would try and go somewhere else, maybe in the library, work in the library a couple of hours, depends on if your job allows that.
Away from the fridge.
Away from the house, because you don't really have any other movement at all. It's so much better than being out than just staying all day home. It's good that going to the gym for me is one of my identities. What do I mean by this? I've read this book called Good Habits, Bad Habits, and how you can overcome your bad habits. And one of the things that it mentions is you need to find whatever you do, you need to assign that to a feeling, to an emotion, and the more that you do it, it becomes one of your many identities. And I guess this is very true for me, because I've been going to the gym forever by myself. I never really needed a reason to go. I just went.
Yeah.
Nothing else, nothing more.
you make it part of your life. You don't make it look like you need to make an effort.
Yeah.
It's the mindset that is some people they are struggling with. It's not about
But this is for everything. It's
Yeah.
not just about going to
no,
the
it's
gym.
for everything. Yeah,
This applies to everything that you do in your life.
yeah,
But I believe is how you operate and what is the not just the end goal, but how you actually taking that information and apply that to yourself. Because a lot of people would count on motivation and they say, I don't feel motivated going to the gym. I don't feel motivated running my business. Just an example. For me, it's just another day. It doesn't make any difference. So I can't exactly tell you step by step what I did to obtain that, because it just became a normal thing in my life. It just happened. Not
but
that
that's the thing. That's the key. You make it part of your normal life.
yeah.
The same with the dieting, part of you. The same with working out, movement, or even if you go for a walk, some activity out there, part of your life. So it doesn't feel that I need to make an effort for it.
And yeah, I get that. Some people actually they have like the root cause. Sometimes it can be emotional stress. Sometimes we say, I'm just having a very bad day at work, my personal life, whatever. I'm just going to do a takeaway. I've done it. I've done it so many times. There's nothing wrong of doing that as long as you can control it, acknowledge it, and try to change what you did. So if you go into the gym and if you're still going to the gym and you're still working out, I think it's fine if you have a takeaway once in a while. But if this happens, if this is a habit, then obviously it's not something good, because it takes a lot of into your mental health as well, to your emotions. When you become, if you're obese or you're overweight, it's a lot of things. Physicality as well. You don't have the same stamina. And the older that you get, it gets more difficult, and you may get some sort of health issues out of this as well.
Everyone gets one of those days that you're like emotionally overwhelmed or stressed. It's fine. Don't fight it. Feel your emotions. It's okay. You want to have a day that you want to have sweets, you want to have takeaway, you want to have junk food, you want to have the food that you like, just do it. But not every day.
It's easier said than done. I'm gonna disagree with you in one part on what you said. You said it's fine, you can do that, you don't have to fight it. For me, it's not just you fighting something. It's also your environment helping you fight whatever there is. Tell you a story. When I was maybe 10 or even younger, I was a little, small little kid, fat little kid. But I was bullied in that good way of being called fat, and then I had to take action. And I believe in some sort of form, some bullying in your life is required. Not in the bad way of me just taking out of you because you look in a particular way. But I believe you need those people in your life to challenge you. That's how I see it. I see it as a challenge. Someone is challenging me, and it's down to you to change that.
Yeah, what I meant was, we all of us, we have good and bad days. And and one day is okay to feel just your emotions, and then just relax and then have something naughty, if you want to name it. My point is, don't make that a regular habit in your regular life. Now, as I said, I have a sweet tooth, so I'm not into junk food and things like that. But I am very much, I have a routine in my life that helps me. When you stick to your routine, you sleep, try to sleep enough, eat the same time, sleep the same time. I know it sounds boring, but then your body gets in a regular schedule and it works better. I very much believe on intermediate fasting. So I try to eat within the window between 12 and 7. For some people works, for some other people they might, like mainly women, they might require some breakfast as well. So for me it works 2 meals per day, for other people might work 3 meals per day. But you need to give that resting time. So automatically when you're fasting early in the morning and late in the evening, then you have enough time for your digestion system to work normally and better, and then that becomes part of like your regular things that you do in your life.
Does that only apply for women because they can eat
Why
less?
I'm saying that is because the blood sugar spikes differently in different groups, and normally like more females tend to need like breakfast instead of the man, because of our hormones. So it's all about the blood sugar spikes and the glucose and the glucogen. That's how you can last longer on your fasting.
Okay, that's very interesting. One of the points that you made is that it's better to do fasting, and I'm very much into that, because let's say if you wanna eat something late at night, I believe that it's much better either go for a walk, for a mini walk, or just sleep it off rather than just eating something, because whatever you eat at a specific time and after, it's just gonna be stored in your belly, or whatever your body keeps all the fats, and there will be, you need to work it out the next day, I guess. Another thing is that I've recently added to my routine, every time I'll have my lunch or my dinner, I'll go for a walk instead of just sitting on the couch and do my work, because that allows my body to, I guess, increase the metabolism of the and it also helps you with your craves as well, because it's just your mind playing games. And one of the things I've read somewhere is you need to listen to your body and actually see if you actually if you are hungry, because most of the time we actually are not hungry. We're telling ourselves that we are hungry, and we convince ourselves that we're hungry.
Actually, I have a tip for that.
Okay.
When we feel hungry, people forget that 80% of our body is water. We need salt. If you add a pinch of salt in your water, Himalayan salt or Celtic salt, which is the grey salt, just a little bit into your water and drink, your hunger will go away.
Okay.
Because we don't have enough salt in our body and not enough water. Why we have to add the salt? For the water to get absorbed into actually our body, not to pit it off.
Does that apply for some foods as well, or it's just...
No, that is a general thing.
Okay.
Yeah. You will remember me.
Okay, that's very interesting, because I didn't know about this, and until you told me. if I'm honest.
And when you're craving something sweet, because when we're craving something sweet, our body needs something sour. So have a sip from a lemon,
Okay.
and then a little bit of water.
I've never actually thought about this, and I think that is very good to know, because if you're trying to improve and do,
I've
improve
implemented that in my daily life, and I know that it works. That's why I recommend it to people. I wouldn't recommend something that I haven't tried it myself and see the results from it. But there are lots of studies that I've recently read through that they do say that we are actually, even though we're drinking water, it doesn't go into our body. Because how many times you're gonna sweat, how many times whatever you're gonna drink, you're gonna go and have a wee,
Yeah.
right? So our body is being made with water. 80%, if you think 80% is a lot of water that it has to be replaced daily. And that's why we add a pinch of salt so it can be absorbed better by our body.
One of the other techniques that allowed me to drop around, I think it was around 13-14% body fat at the time, was I always have a glass of cold water with a drop of lemon juice first thing in the morning, before you eat breakfast, before you do anything at all. And then I'll have a glass of warm water with drop of lemon juice as well. The last thing in the night, because that will allow my metabolism to work faster during my fasting periods as I sleep through it. And that's just a little cheat code so you can lose weight. It's one of the things, but you also need movement. The other things I do for movement, I'll try to maintain at least 10k steps a day, 7 days a week. And then in my normal routine, I'll have, now what I'm following through is I'll do 1 day of HIIT exercises. And HIIT exercises, for those who are not aware of, is just a way to have your cardio in less time. So let's put in an example that
Is
you do
a high intensity training.
High intensity training, yes. Let's say I'll do a treadmill. I'll do treadmill for 10 minutes. I'll do some warm up first, and I'll do on and off, a minute full on 100%, and maybe 15-20 seconds completely stop, and then I'll repeat the process 10 times. And you can do this on multiple machines, different machines, pretty much following the same strategy. And one of the other days I'll do LISS, which is quite the opposite. So same example, on the treadmill, all I do is just walk for 30 minutes on uphill, and then that's pretty much all I do for cardio. I'm not very big fan of doing cardio, just because you don't really lose weight on doing just purely cardio. It's better to lift heavy weights and just do the 10,000 steps every single day. You will lose more of your body fat than that you will lose weight just doing cardio. What do you say?
Depends on your goals and what kind of exercises you like to do. Because some people, they do like running, but some people, they hate running. So you kind of you adjust the training on what you like. So if I like running, then I can implementing my workouts around what I like. Now, I do like being outdoors when the weather is nice. But I do, for me, my conclusion after 15 years working out, I like functioning training. which is a variation with body weight, implementing animal flow, kettlebell variation, and high intensity. Not necessarily I have to do cardio at the end or outdoors. It is good to have a variation in your training so you don't get bored. But automatically, you need to enjoy what you're doing so you can turn up every day for it.
For sure. That your workouts, I've seen your workouts. I'm not massively impressed with that sort of type of exercises as whole because it's just not me.
Some people like bodybuilding.
It really isn't. Yeah, I've tried pretty much a lot of exercises, whatever exercise that are out there.
Don't get me wrong, I do muscle week as well.
But if I had to choose a program, then my goals could be set under maybe bodybuilding more likely, but it depends on what I'm focusing on more.
Exactly.
So if I'm focusing legs, maybe I'll do 2 or 3 times a week legs. And if I'm focusing on upper, I'll do something relevant.
Yeah, but as I said, like, you need to try different kind of variations in training and decide what you like. You prefer the bodybuilding style. I've tried the bodybuilding style in the past and I just don't prefer it anymore. I like to be a little bit more flexible, a bit faster, a bit quicker, like high intensity, cardio because of the high intensity and the heart rate sky high. I prefer this kind of variations. Don't get me wrong, everything is good. Your style is good, my style is good. As long as you achieve the goals that you set for yourself, that's absolutely fine. Either way, or you still have a movement. Some people, that's why it's good to have the 10K steps as a minimum so people can keep on moving outside as well.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think it's better if they reach out to a professional? Maybe if they have an eating disorder, like a therapist or a therapist around that profession, or even a dietitian?
I believe that if there's any health background, absolutely you need to reach out to a specialist. Is that a dietitian? Is that a doctor? That they need to take care of your health. When you don't know, like when you're not you don't know about how you have to work out, how to use the equipment, I believe to be safe you should have an instructor and a dietitian on the side as well.
Because a lot of things nowadays are like online. I have an app on the phone, I go on the app, see the exercise, I do the exercise, and I think this is pretty much the majority of people nowadays. They just have an app or they see something on YouTube, they go on YouTube, okay, and then I say, oh, I'm going to try this exercise.
My only issue with that is who is checking on your performance? Who is checking if you're doing the exercise correctly? You can watch a video or you can have an app. That's absolutely fine. But when you're on the first steps, you really need to have an instructor next to you so they can improve your body position. Because they need to check that you're performing well.
Yeah.
Mainly that. Then when you get to the stage there, you're quite happy and you're confident in your exercise and everything else, then go ahead, use the apps, use the YouTube, everything else.
A little side quest. I would even recommend for people who are just starting out on working out to even just go to the gym without even doing much. Just turn up. That would be the very first advice I would give to someone. Just turn up for the first month. Don't focus on diets. Don't focus on what is the best workout to do, the best to have that maximum output of that. Just turn up because you need to be able to be consistent on that. And then once you unlock the achievements, then you level up and then you move towards to the next goal. And you can even start with your own body, doing body workouts, body weight workouts at home. Once your body gets used to that, you can go to the gym, do the same steps, and then just with time you lift more.
I know there are a lot of people out there, they're feeling uncomfortable to start something,
Sure.
or uncomfortable to be in an environment that they've never been before, and they feel a little bit awkward about, oh, I don't know what to do. I had a lot of friends reaching out to me and say, oh, can you make me a program? Oh, can you show me a few exercises? I don't know what I'm doing. It's the first day I'm going to the gym and I have no clue whatsoever. It's good to have somebody experienced like myself, for example, or somebody or a personal trainer that they can show you a few things, and then it take that stress and that uncomfortably feeling that you have on like a new environment. But as you said, is very important to turn up. Even if you start from home, you do some like body weight style, or a little bit of running and a little bit of cardio, a few steps outside, and then slowly you get your confidence back.
For sure. And for a lot of people, just going to the gym, just purely going to the gym is just, I've seen it myself. And some people feel so way off out of their comfort zone because they're exposed now into this environment with so many other people looking a particular way, and they say, oh, the immediate thoughts that you have in your mind is that, oh, I'm not looking as good as this guy looks like. And I think for a lot of young guys, this is the first thing that they see and then getting intimidated by, and then they say, no, this is not for me.
But I will say something. Your ego is not your amigo.
Yeah, for sure. But it's easier said than done. We can sit here and argue, but it takes time for someone to accept that and move on.
Yeah, because that's a lot of like inner work as well with yourself to build that confidence and be, no, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to do it for myself. And I don't care about if other people looking, and I don't care about others. The only person that I care is about myself.
Okay. That's very interesting. So to wrap up things, we said quite a lot of things now.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of things about diets, a lot of things about workouts, what I do, what you do, your background a little bit.
True.
And I think we have like a general idea now as to how we can move forward. So it's been a pleasure, like always.
Thank you.
Hope we can catch up the next episode. You
Will
never
do.
know. Or maybe it's a different guest this time. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.